Hi, thanks to Astro Theme, which is a wonderful service out of France. Let's take another look, because I've done this before in another method, at Hillary Rodham Clinton's natal chart. And as I said previously, she has two sides to her chart, I would say. Here's the moon in 18 degrees of Pisces, a water sign for a planet that loves water traditionally. It's good in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And that makes very good aspect, you see, from 18 degrees Pisces down here to Scorpio, where she has Venus in 15 degrees and Mercury in 21 degrees. The Sun is a little bit too far in this way, and Jupiter is a little bit too far in this direction, so they do not aspect her moon, but certainly Venus and Mercury do. And what this is, this forms two trines. A trine is a 120-degree harmonious aspect. So it's from the moon to Venus and also from the moon to Mercury. Moon trine Mercury makes the mind sharper and gives her more options of communication and writing and all kinds of other, probably sales also, than other people. Moon with Venus is remarkable, and it's very good with women, with children, the whole family thing, the whole fabric of the social issues that she has worked on since college, can be seen in the moon aspects to these two planets. She also has a conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter, which is a very benefic and important planet. However, this is not so airtight because it's 9 degrees away. From 21 degrees to 0.27, that's about 9 degrees and change. So that's a little bit weak. But Mercury conjunction Jupiter brings her people from around the world. It brings travel and a certain amount of optimism. So it's a very interesting chart on that side, but Moon does not work with everything. Moon does not work here with the planet Uranus, which is in the 11th house of friendships, and Uranus tends to kind of like bring friendships that are erratic and that can, suffer damage in various ways, even marriage. Now, the 8th house has to do with sexuality, sex, death, other people's money, inheritance, property matters of various kinds, and maybe even the Clinton Foundation. But anyway, this is a big moneymaker here, is to have the moon in that sign, in that house, because it shows that she's very comfortable working with other people's money. So the money seems to go hand in hand with these social causes that she has. If we go over to the other side here, we see a frightful conjunction of aspects. She has Mars and Pluto in 13 and 14 degrees of Leo, just above the rising sign here. And they're close enough to the rising sign to be called rising. So they are both on the ascendant. They're both rising. That makes them about 3 times more powerful than planets that are in these other parts of the zodiac. The moon, because it's totally off the angles, is not as powerful in Pisces as these planets are in Leo. Here's Saturn. Saturn is the greater malefic planet. It causes all kinds of serious issues, and Saturn is very definitely right here, just under the rising sign. So all these 3 planets, Mars, Pluto, and Saturn, are in the ascendant, and they're all rising. And where are they? They're in Leo. Leo's a very masculine sign, isn't it? There's a lot of ego and ostentation and power drives are really big with Leo. Sometimes it can be a little narcissistic. Sometimes it can be just a little bit too full of itself. And these planets here, 13 degrees, 14 degrees, these are in bad aspect down here to her Venus. Look at her Venus. It's in 15 degrees of Scorpio. It makes a square with Mars. Now, you can look these up. Look up Venus square Mars. It means there's a real battle of the sexes going on here. Sex and love are not going to just be, sweet romantic things for Hillary with these kind of aspects. Also, Pluto square Venus often means a person who has been used, abused, and who has a, 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 a difficult because of the hardships that she's had starting from an early life. It may not all be hardships. She brings a lot of trouble onto herself also. So with Mars rising with Pluto, this is very often an aspect of the general, of the dominatrix, of the person who wants to take charge over others. And I see it as very imposing, but also kind of frightening because Saturn is there too. And Saturn rising together with Mars. You just look up, just Google natal Mars conjunction Saturn, natal Mars conjunction Saturn, and read the character qualities that imbues. And we could also look here and see what the chances are for being elected. We can compare her chart with somebody else's chart, but it's so puzzling to me that there's all this kind of soft and plush, woman's thing here, which makes her attractive to women. And I would say not just as a candidate, but she actually vibes from the Moon-Venus trine that I believe that she could be bisexual. There's a definite quality of that here, because she may actually prefer the company of women to him. Because look at all this hard-ass nature that we see here with Mars, Pluto, and Saturn. So I challenge you, if you are not a believer in astrology, to just start looking up some of these things that I said and see if they don't ring true once you look them up on a database that's been put together by astrologers working to ferret what these different aspects and planets mean for, in some cases, for thousands of years. Not the outer planets, of course, like Pluto, that was too recently discovered, but these other planets have gone through the meat grinder, and people have a very good idea of what they do in a chart. This is a really tricky chart. I think with this stuff going on in her chart here, I just don't know. I think the fact that she lost out to Barack Obama in 2008 may somehow, that same kind of thing could happen in 2016, because she may just not have as many friendships and adoring fans as she thinks she does, because these combinations of aspects here are very daunting and somewhat off-putting. Well, thanks very much, and we'll look in again. I'll try the same method on some other charts. Okay, bye now.